today we're going to do the expansion idea and what we've been learning about air mass movement. What we're going to use, each group needs to go get an empty bottle that I have provided with a cap. Make sure it has a cap on it. You need a measuring cup, the oil, the water I have provided, and 2 colors of food coloring. There is green and there is red. You need to go and get one of each for your group. Now, we've been talking about how the air masses move along the globe. And what we're going to do today is an activity where you're going to see how when 2 masses combine, what's going to happen. Okay, there's going to be a warm front and there's going to be a cold front. But before we get there, I want to tell you exactly what you need to do before we even start. So after you have gotten all of your items, I want you to take the empty bottle with the cap and fill it halfway with oil. Now remember, oil is first. So you're going to take the oil, fill it halfway. Then I want you to put one color dye in there. I'm going to use green for the oil, but you may use red if you would like. So once you fill it halfway, you're going to put the dye in. You're going to shake it really well. Shake it so the oil becomes the color that you put in there. So, for example, I'm going to put the oil in, then I'm going to put the green food coloring in. Shake it really well until the oil turns green. Okay, if you choose red, you do the same thing. Shake it really well until the oil turns red. Then, I want you to take the measuring glass, fill it about 1/4 cup of water, and put the opposite color of food coloring into the water. So, for example, I'm using green with the oil, so I'm going to use red with the water. We're using the opposite color. So in the end, you're going to have 2 liquids, 2 different colors. Now as you stir up the water, so you make the water red, I want you to slowly pour the water into the oil. Once you have poured it into the oil, you'll see what happens. But before you do all this, I want you to take a minute and think. What are some things that you know about oil? What are some things that you know about water? What is going to happen when you pour the water into the oil? You can use the information that we've talked about the air masses, the warm air fronts and the cold air fronts. Use all the information that we've learned. But before you start any of this, I want you to get in your group and think about that. Okay? I'll give you about 2 minutes to collaborate, and then I will let you know when it is time to separate and get your items.
Well, this life keeps moving on. We're gone away for too long. So tell your friends just how you feel. You better say it loud for the world to hear. 'Cause it's getting late, it's time to go. The paper moon is fading slow, but the night, it keeps moving on. Really takes you in, it brings you home. While you're watching over the moments that make up your life, it's getting late. That's the way it is. You can't deny when it feels like this. And it's strange what it's bringing out. You're gonna open up, 'cause you can't stop now. Oh, you can't stop now. Well, it's getting late. You don't know how. You're wide awake, but you're missing out. You get your kicks while you can, and then you go to work to pay the man, while you're watching over the moments that make up your life. Alright, it's getting late. It's getting late. Well, it's getting late. Oh yeah, it's getting late.
Now that I saw every group do the activity correctly, I want you to get out your science journals. And we made a prediction before. Each group made their own of what would happen using the knowledge they have of air masses and the cold and the warm. What would happen when the cold water was poured into the oil? I want you to write down in your own words what your prediction was, and if you were right. If you were right, great. If you were wrong, that's okay too. No points are going to get taken off if you were right or wrong, because predictions are just educated guesses, and we like to see that you are thinking and that you're doing everything you need to make a hypothesis of what's going to happen. Okay? So, I want you to write down what you think happened before you did it, and tell me if you were right or wrong. Tell me what your end result was. What did you see as you poured the water into the oil? Why did it separate? Which liquid is dense, more dense than the other? You're going to use all of the information that you learned about air masses and what happens when the cold front and the warm front meet. Which one is denser? Which one's going to be on the top and the bottom? Okay? If you slowly turn the bottle on its side, everyone do this with me. Turn the bottle on its side. You're going to see something happen. Which color is staying on the bottom? The cold water, right? Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what you're going to see. Everyone is going to see the cold water staying on the bottom. Because of what? Which liquid is dense, more dense than the other? It's exactly why you're going to see this happening. And our weather works the same way. Okay? So at this time, go ahead. I'm going to write some example questions that I want you to answer on the board. Like, what happened, what was your prediction? Were you right or wrong? What did you see when you poured the water into the oil? Why did this reaction happen? Okay, I want you to take about 5 to 10 minutes to record your observations. And then after that, we will be done.